Okay, everyone, welcome back to the SpeedRacinJason podcast. I believe this is episode 15. I honestly don't really know because I didn't check right before I started filming this one. So what is going on, man? I just hope everyone out there is staying decently healthy. Everyone is doing okay. I'm starting to miss some of my friends. I'm starting to miss having guests on the podcast. I'm like, fuck, I want to have more people on, but it's like, I'm not trying to risk 100 views for getting the coronavirus to the whole family. I can't trust y'all, is what I'm saying. I don't know, I'm just kidding. But yeah, I do sincerely hope that everyone is doing okay still. It is March 26th today, and I don't know, this is like quarantine podcast number 4, and I feel like the energy coming out of me has just not been the best, and I think it's because I just feel like I'm living in like a pandemic like society or something. I feel like I'm living in the movie Contagion right now. I don't know how you guys are all handling it, but I think I'm handling it pretty well. I'm trying to act like everything's normal still, but there's so many people around me that are not acting normal at all. They're fucking wilding out, and it's crazy. I'm sure you guys have those people in your family, and like, I totally understand, man. It's totally good to be precautious and everything, but when this or that's happening, man, it gets freaking annoying. You're like, chill. I don't want to be around you during this fucking outbreak. You know what I mean? Not because of germs, just because of your fucking behavior, dude. Is how I'm saying. But yeah, I do miss having people on, and I do sincerely mean what I said at the beginning. I hope everyone is being healthy out there. Other than that, man, I've just been hanging out, and it is so nice. Like, I don't know, if you have the liberty of staying home because you're not working a job where you have to keep working and you have to stay home right now, like, it's probably pretty cool for you. It's kind of like a cool little vacation, if I'm being honest. Like, if you can get your mind past the whole fucking virus thing, you're like, man, I'm on vacay. This is like summer vacation when I was a kid. But yeah, I mean, I'm out here trying to make some podcasts for you guys, keep you guys entertained while you guys are trapped in the house, because I'm like, feel kind of bad if you guys are just trapped, you got nothing to do. I know that's all I've been up to, is just listening to like podcasts and watching things on Netflix. Started watching that Tiger King thing. Oh my god, bro, if you haven't seen that, go check that out. That is absolutely insane. That's on Netflix. And then I just watched like Bert Kreischer's stand-up special and Tom Segura's special. Those were both pretty good. I like both of those. They made me laugh really hard. And like stuff like that it's good because it gets your mind off the virus, and that's what I'm trying to do. I'm hoping that I drop this and then you guys are like, damn, thank you, Jason, for keeping me sane for 30 minutes or however long this podcast goes on for. Honestly, I think this podcast goes on for it looks like a little longer. I just got a text from Abby, and she's like the only person I'm still like really having over right now. Like, I'll have other people over, obviously, but like, she's like one of the only people that keep coming over. But I figured I'd be kind of finishing this podcast around 3 when she got here. But she just said, I'm a little behind right now. I'm quit cleaning my bathroom, and then I got a shower still. So it sounds like I got fucking time to do the podcast, if you know what I mean. But shout out to her. Shout out to all of you guys for listening, man. I guess I've been feeling a little down the last couple of days because of the whole, I just like, I am putting all of these out there, and I'm excited for anyone that listens to it, but like, I'm not getting like the most insane amount of views and everything, and it's just something you got to keep trucking along through. It's kind of rough. You're like, fuck, do I keep posting these? It sounds like nobody's even, well, I mean, people are, but it seems like nobody's even listening, and I've been feeling a little down about that, I guess, but I'm working through that, and it's kind of something that I need to just look at in a different point of mind, or a point of view, because I'm looking at it in the wrong way, I think, because I think I should be excited with the amount of like freedom I have because I only have 50 people watching. Like, I can say whatever the fuck I want on this podcast, and nobody's gonna be trying to do the cancel culture shit on me, because if there's only 50 people watching, those 50 people that are watching are the fucking true fans. So shout out to you 50 fucking people out there. You know what I'm saying? And I'm saying I should be looking at it like that. And, you know, I just kind of forced myself to sit down and do a podcast today because I was kind of like, you know, iffy on it, and I haven't been feeling it the last couple of days, and I don't want to sit down and give you guys something mediocre. I don't want to sit down and you guys are like, what the fuck was that? Why'd I waste 40 minutes watching that, you know, and then you guys don't come back. So I'm trying to make sure that I'm doing my best. So I sat down today, kind of just forced myself to start it, and of course started feeling the same way. Like right before I really started, I was like, do I even have the energy to do it? Or is this just going to be like a weird rant where you guys are like, fuck, why is he angry at us? We're just watching, you know? And so I sat down and then I did it, and I feel like it's going pretty good, man. I don't know, maybe not. Tell me in the comments, but I fucking feel it. I'm feeling it. And I'm feeling you guys, man, like in a weird way. You know what I mean? Like, come over there and give you a kiss. But like, I just want like people to be watching and being happy. Like, I listen to podcasts that I enjoy, and I leave the podcast, well, mostly honestly because I'm a bad person. I just go on to, I'm not a bad person, but like I just go on to the next podcast, you know, and I keep listening. But like when I do leave, I'm like, man, they just like, whoever that was that I was just listening to just distracted me completely out of my zone for like 30 minutes and brought me into theirs, you know? So I don't know. I'm trying to keep like all the virus talk a little on the low after all of this shit, because it's like, I don't want you guys to be thinking about that. I want you guys to be thinking about how like you guys are doing and shit. Like you guys are like, fuck, I'm doing okay, you know? Maybe you call some friends. Like I was thinking about that. That's something new I started on the Patreon, is if you give me a couple dollars, $2 a month, I think that's what I labeled it as, I'll fucking call you on the podcast. I got my first Patreon supporter, so shout out to her. It's Abby. We're just using a fake fucking, we're using her to fucking be the first one. We'll get this ball rolling, you know what I mean? Like, be like, hey, look, I got my first Patreon. But you guys don't need to tell. That's just going to be our little secret here on the podcast. I mean, not really, because I think you can, like, literally see her name, but, like, either way, she's a supportive girlfriend, so shout out to her again. But that's something I was starting to do, is I want to start calling people, and I feel like I'm about to just start calling people as is, because I feel like I need to be getting in touch with them, you know? Like, I was thinking about that today. I haven't had anyone on the podcast because, you know, like I said, a little iffy. It's like, fuck, I could just call them, maybe have them do a little phone interview, because but I'm missing people. Like, I'm missing some of my friends. You know, like Ethan, for example. I haven't seen him in probably 2 weeks. I haven't seen Tanner in probably 2 weeks. I saw Colby a little while ago. Dude, and then I have other friends, like, you know, Rylan and stuff. Like, he's out in Colorado. Like, it's not like I'm about to hop on a plane right now with that fucking recirculated air and breathe in coronavirus for 4 hours and go visit him. And I don't expect him to come over here anytime soon either, you know? So it's like, you know, get in contact with your family. Like, that's what everyone keeps saying. Just like, dude, I saw this one, I forget even who it was, but someone on like my Snapchat story the other night, she was like, why did it take the pandemic for my family to do this? And they probably had like 16 people all FaceTiming or Skyping together. I don't know what it was doing, but dude, I was laughing so hard because there's like, it just looked like this person's family reunion. I'm like, I wish my family was more involved in tech. I'll get them all set up with one of these, because let's have a fucking virtual family reunion party. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's get this wild, man. I got a pack of Trulies out in the car is all I'm saying, and we can get a fucking wild virtual party going. Everyone's FaceTiming each other. That's what I think you guys should be out there doing. If you want. If you want to just fucking quarantine yourself and not talk to anyone and just like go in a fallout shelter, I don't fucking blame you, because that's how I feel half the days, and then the other half of the days I'm like, fuck, if I'm gonna die, I might as well have fun for the last 2 weeks before I die, right? But then you end up like those fuckheads in spring break, you know, or like I'm down there licking toilets. I don't know if you guys seen that video, because if you haven't, that reference makes no sense at all. But that lady that licked the fucking toilet, you know, she's sick from coronavirus, and that's because she's like, has that attitude of, if I'm going to die in 2 weeks, I might as well have fun. I don't necessarily know if this is the best one to have either. It kind of goes back and forth, you know? But I also don't think you should quarantine yourself and not talk to anyone for the next 2 months because you'll go crazy. At least I bet. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe you guys got that will, you know? Maybe you guys could do a couple months in the fucking hole in a jail cell and not even bat an eye. I'm out here podcasting to 40 fucking people. I'd obviously lose my mind if I sat in here for 2 months straight, you know, without talking to anyone. If I was just sitting in here like, I'm still seeing all my family. Abby's still coming up. I don't know. It's kind of crazy. My mom's a respiratory therapist, which I think I've mentioned that before, but so like she works at the hospital. So like, you know, that makes me a little stressed out because I'm like, she's around, like, she's like one of those workers, you know, shout out to those people like we were talking about earlier that like have to go to work. She's like obviously going to have to keep going to work throughout all of this. And it's like, fuck, please be safe, you know? There it is. Got it. I'm just kidding. Trying to keep it lighthearted. I think that's honestly from the Diet Pepsi, if you know what I mean. Or being locked in my office. Yeah, man. Shout out to all of you fucking people. What are we at right now? We're at like 10 minutes. I'm feeling pretty good, honestly. Like, no symptoms yet, I feel like. Nothing of that matter. I woke up today and I was feeling a little crampish because I've been trying to work out because they say that that's what you should be doing is working out, you know, keep your body in good shape. So I started doing that, and I probably haven't done that in like 6 months. I jump roped in the morning, dude, and let me just tell you, my legs are fucking done, man. I haven't done that since I was probably 4th grade, 3rd grade PE class, and I'm outside at fucking early in the morning jump rope and blowing out a hammy, and now I can't walk. Like, I'm fine with no symptoms of the virus, but I'm gonna be paraplegic by the time it's over because of this stupid jump rope. I don't think it was the move. I liked it though, so I'm trying to recover from that because that was kind of gnarly, man. And it really showed me that I'm not in shape, which is okay. Like I said, we're working on it. We're working on all sorts of things during this quarantine. We're working on ourselves. You know what I mean? Get out there, fucking work on yourself. Write a poem. I don't care what the fuck you do. Make a podcast. Make a podcast, get it bumping, and then invite me on by the time the quarantine's over. Because then I'm going to want to start. I was thinking about that earlier. I'm like, man, I want to be a guest on someone's podcast. I've had a couple guests on, you know. Like I said, I think we're on episode like 13, 14, 15, whatever it is. It's like, I could just tell us really fast, honestly. I'm at my computer. I'm just being a lazy, bad person right now. And I didn't want anything to go wrong. Watch like my computer straight freeze up the second I do this. Yeah, man. I think we're looking like we're on episode 15. You can fact check me in the comments. But yeah, this should be episode 15, you know what I mean? I've had some guests on in the past, and it's like, I want to go be a guest on someone's podcast. Go sit down, tell them about SpeedRacinJason, get them to come over to this channel, you know, and like just really have the experience of like just being on someone else, being a guest, you know, because I feel like I'm supposed to be the host, which 99% of the time I don't do the best job of, which is okay, but it's like I'm trying. But I'd like to switch swap it, flip it around. I don't know what the fuck that was. Switch swap it? I don't care. All I'm saying is when Abby gets here, we're going to film another one, and I'm going to make her start the podcast. She's going to do it all. Have me on as a guest is what I'm about to do for you guys. That would be actually kind of funny. I don't know. Maybe not. Tell me in the comments. I think that would kind of be funny. Maybe not. I don't know. I should just have someone, if it's not Abby, come on the podcast. Come start it up. I'll just like start it up for them, you know, and we'll edit it. So it looks like they started it all up, and it's just like they're sitting here and they're like, welcome back to the SpeedRacinJason podcast. Someone completely different. I wonder who would do that. Comment in the comments if you're like down to fucking be a guest host of the SpeedRacinJason. It's like the Tonight Show, you know, they do it so often that every once in a while they'd have a guest host. That's what I'm saying is we'll have guest hosts. I don't even have to do any work. I'll just like hang out in the house. You guys run it. I don't know. Maybe not. I'm honestly liking it. I'm glad I forced myself to come on out here, and I shouldn't be saying it like that, but like, you know what I'm saying. I'm glad I pressed start because, it gets a little nerve wracking. I feel like, with the combined stress of all of the virus shit, it's like just making me like also just like anxious and stressed about all sorts of things. So, I'm like about to press the start button on this podcast, and I'm meanwhile questioning all my life decisions, trying to figure out if this is the right thing to do or not. I'm like, should I or should I not? And I finally press start, and then I'm like, oh yeah, I'm having fun because there's a reason I started doing it, and there's a reason I'm on episode 15, I'm kind of excited, man. Episode 15 is getting up there. When I'm up in those 20s and then it's like 30 and I just got to keep busting them out because if I hit that triple digits club, I think I'd shit my pants. And hopefully by then I'm growing a little bit more. Like I said, man, you get down about it a little bit and there's an easy way you guys can help me out with that. Fucking tell your friends about it. Be like, hey, I've been listening to the SpeedRacinJason podcast. It's okay. It's not the best. It's all right. It's decent. Check it out. This should be the title. SpeedRacinJason podcast. It's decent. Not really. I shouldn't be selling myself that short, man, but it's easy. And I think I should be. I don't know. Oh, like I said, this is getting into those moments where I'm like, fuck, I wish I had someone else in here so I could breathe for a little while. And I feel like I've said fuck a lot during this episode of the podcast, which I usually don't, but I'm just feeling free today because like I said, it's like if I fucking die in 2 weeks, I don't want to be like, man, I wish I didn't do that. That's the other thing. Let me just talk about that for a second. And this isn't even just with the virus, but like this is something that everyone needs to know out there. If something were to happen to me and I die, well, I mean, I'm gonna die eventually, but if something happened to me and I died sooner than expected, I don't know what YouTube does with the videos if they leave them on. But if I'm not famous by the time I die, please, this is my only wish if I were to die. You guys got to make me famous after I die at least. Make me a little bit, give me a little bit of recognition if I haven't gotten it already. You know what I mean? Just be like, hey, this guy just died. Maybe you could check out one of the videos. Some of the proceeds go to his family. Well, all the proceeds would go to my family, I guess. Take all of them. I don't know how that works either, but fucking sign the papers. This is a verbal will right now. My parents and my family has the rights to SpeedRacinJason if anything were to happen. Oh, dude, that makes me even nervous talking about it, and I hope you guys are too. I hope you guys are like, man, you're not going to die, right? I'm not going to die. Dude, I don't know. I don't want to fucking make it a Debbie Downer podcast and start bringing up death, and I think that's a good way to do that. I don't know, man. I'm taking a sip of this Diet Pepsi and figuring something else out to talk about. What is there else to talk about? Oh, I just did another vinyl job last night. I did this cleaning lady's car. It was pretty cool. I'll probably be inserting some clips right now, like always. Yeah, so that was a good little job. I busted that out kind of fast. That's another reason I've been a little vacant on the podcast. I've like been working on that. When that happened, whenever I'm working on a job like that, it's easy for me to also just put off the podcast. So that combined with the other things that we talked about, that just made it kind of easy. But yeah, I finished that real fast last night. I was super excited about it. And then what else? Me and Abby watched the 240. Did we talk about that in the last podcast? I'm not sure. We pulled it out. I got it started. Runs still. I was super excited. I got to get some like new wheels on it, get the fitment decent, and actually have all matching wheels and tires on, or like, but something that, because right now I like, it is what it is, but there's 3 different types of tires, or 3 different types of wheels on that car right now. So, and I know that's horrible, but I haven't like been driving it at all. I just like started it. So you don't have to worry about it. But yeah, I have like a 16-inch, or I have two 16 inches on the back, and then I have an 18 on the left, and then a 17 on the front right, because I fucking, out at Pat's Acres, the last drift event, the last time I even drove the car, I just kind of went off and I broke one of the wheels. I broke one of my big chromies, and yeah, man, I just like lugged that thing up onto the trailer, and then I just like pulled it off the trailer, and then it sat. And I finally worked on it, and it made me so happy. I'm getting it all worked out, and I'm really looking forward to driving that thing again, man. I feel like I'm young and shit when I get in it. I feel like top dog. I'm like, dude, this is my 240. Like, what? This makes me so happy, and like, because I haven't drove it in so long, and it just takes me back to such a happy time. That's what I was really talking to Abby about too. It's like, I feel like so much has changed, I mean, you guys have watched, like, if you've been here for a while. I've been here since 2016. So that's the year before I graduated high school, I mean, I started the channel senior year, but 2016, I graduated in 2017, so it's not a full year. But either way, like, you guys have straight watched me grow up and changed into a person that I wasn't before. And like, I mean, mind you, I haven't grown up a lot, but like, dude, it's just weird for me to think about. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know how everyone else is doing with everything. It's just one of those things that it's like, fuck, I'm 21. I don't even want to be, man. I want to be like 18, but I also don't, because it's like, I'm having fun, but it's just like crazy, and I feel like it's just going to keep going faster and faster, man. So fucking get a grip on your life and fucking take a hold of it, man. Fucking do your thing. Do your thing for your life, because it's not going to be for fucking long, it seems like, And I'm not trying to get weird and preachy, but I was just thinking this might be where we're kind of ending the podcast, and I was thinking we could put like a nice wrap on it, because I've been talking about death and viruses and all sorts of bad shit this whole time. I'm like, let's put a happy note on it. I think that's one of the best ways to look at it. Is someone was talking about it on a podcast I was listening to. This is not permanent. All viruses have an ending. We're either all gonna get it, or they're going to come out with some vaccines and shit. However it happens, there is going to be a time where COVID-19 is not a thing, Or, I mean, it's still a thing, but it's, like, not what it was, It's going to go back to normal. So think about that, and also think about it like this. Like, if something's going to happen to you in 2 weeks, you better be having fun, man. Fucking live your life to the fullest. Preachy as it gets right there from SpeedRacinJason. But that's how we're going to end episode 15 of the SpeedRacinJason podcast. I don't even care. I don't even care that I just said SpeedRacinJason twice. That's way too many SpeedRacinJasons. That's 3. But we got to get those keywords up, Go watch a different podcast if you like this one at all. And I guess the camera just died, like literally right there. I mean, it didn't die, it just said the card is full, so I just like fully lost my train of thought. But thank you all for watching. Good timing, I guess. Have a good one. Peace out.